Welcome to the channel Reflections of Time.
In this episode, we journey into one of the oldest, most populous, and most layered civilizations in human history, India. For thousands of years, this land has been home to countless cultures, beliefs, languages, and communities. It has shaped not only its own people, but also the world's understanding of thought, spirituality, and resilience. From the cities of Harappa to the footsteps of Gandhi, from the caste system to modern scientific minds, India is a journey that carries the weight of history and the rhythm of the future. Do not forget to subscribe and like the video. Now, let us begin this long story, from the banks of the Ganges to the shadows of the Himalayas.
The Indus Valley Civilization, Silent Cities of Giants.
India's earliest known civilization was the Indus Valley Civilization. It emerged nearly 5,000 years ago in what is now Pakistan and northwestern India. It was a society of planned cities, trade, technology, and order. The cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro displayed advanced urban planning. Broad streets, brick houses, drainage systems, granaries, and central public buildings all pointed to a highly organized society. Each settlement was built according to a careful layout, reflecting strong central control. Strangely, the script of the Indus Valley people remains undeciphered to this day. This makes it difficult to fully understand their religious beliefs, political system, or social customs. Still, archaeological evidence suggests they lived in peace, engaged in long-distance trade, and developed one of the world's first urban cultures. The civilization declined slowly, likely due to climate shifts, changing river paths, or disruptions in trade. But its legacy remained in the cultural soil of the subcontinent.
The Vedic Age, birth of beliefs and social order.
After the decline of the Indus Valley civilization, the Vedic Age began. This period saw the arrival of the Indo-Aryan tribes from the northwest. They brought with them the Sanskrit language and the sacred texts known as the Vedas. These texts would become the foundation of Hinduism, focusing on hymns, rituals, and the worship of elemental gods such as Agni the fire god, Indra the god of war, and Surya the sun god. During this age, society was divided into four major classes: Brahmins, the priests; Kshatriyas, the warriors; Vaishyas, the merchants and farmers; and Shudras, the laborers. This structure would later evolve into the rigid caste system that would define Indian social life for millennia. The Vedic world combined ritual, order, and spiritual hierarchy. It was both deeply connected to nature and profoundly structured in belief and social rules.
Buddhism and Jainism, the beginning of a silent revolution.
In the 6th century before the Common Era, voices of reform began to rise within the spiritual landscape of India. Many were dissatisfied with the exclusivity and complexity of Brahmin rituals. Two great spiritual movements emerged during this time: Buddhism and Jainism. Siddhartha Gautama, later known as the Buddha, renounced royal life in search of enlightenment. He taught that suffering comes from desire and that liberation is possible through discipline, reflection, and compassion. He rejected caste and promoted individual inner awakening. At the same time, Mahavira led the rise of Jainism. This path emphasized complete nonviolence, self-control, and respect for all living beings. Both of these traditions challenged the status quo. They democratized spirituality, opened the door to education, and reshaped art, architecture, and philosophy across India and beyond.
The Maurya and Gupta empires, echoes of a golden age.
One of the first powerful empires to unify the Indian subcontinent was the Maurya Empire. It was founded by Chandragupta Maurya, but it reached its peak during the reign of his grandson, Ashoka. Ashoka, after witnessing the horrors of the Kalinga War, embraced Buddhism. He turned away from conquest and adopted the principles of non-violence and compassion. He issued royal edicts carved into stone pillars across the empire, emphasizing justice, tolerance, and care for all living beings. Under his leadership, Buddhism spread far beyond India, to Sri Lanka, Tibet, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia. Several centuries later, the Gupta Empire ushered in what is often called the Classical Age of India. This era witnessed remarkable achievements in science, mathematics, literature, and the arts. The concept of zeroas developed and applied. Astronomers calculated planetary movements with precision. Surgical techniques and detailed medical texts were produced. In literature, Sanskrit drama and poetry flourished. This period reflected a harmony between intellectual growth and spiritual depth, a balance that would echo through centuries.
Muslim Turkic influence, the Delhi Sultanate and the Mughals.
By the end of the 12th century, Muslim Turkic forces entered India from the northwest. This marked the beginning of the Delhi Sultanate, a series of dynasties that ruled northern India for over 3 centuries. These rulers brought Islamic faith, Persian culture, and new administrative systems. Architecture, cuisine, music, and language all evolved in this dynamic cultural exchange. In the 16th century, the Mughal Empire rose under Babur, a descendant of both Timur and Genghis Khan. His grandson Akbar the Great expanded the empire and became known for his policies of tolerance and inclusion. Akbar welcomed scholars of all faiths, held public debates, and encouraged dialogue between different religions. He abolished discriminatory taxes on non-Muslims and sought unity in diversity. Under the Mughals, India saw the construction of grand structures, including the magnificent Taj Mahal, a symbol not only of love, but of artistic fusion and imperial ambition.
British colonial rule, shadows of an empire.
As the Mughal Empire weakened in the 18th century, European powers expanded their influence. The British East India Company gained control over trade and later, political authority. What began as economic partnership soon turned into domination. Local industries declined, agriculture shifted toward cash crops, and poverty deepened. British policies disrupted traditional systems and increased social tensions. In 1857, the Indian Rebellion, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny, marked the first large-scale resistance. Although it was suppressed, it ended the rule of the East India Company. India was placed directly under the British Crown, entering a new phase of colonization. Railways, Western education, and new laws were introduced. But these changes came at the cost of cultural suppression, resource extraction, and political subjugation.
The freedom struggle and Gandhi's path.
By the early 20th century, a new wave of resistance emerged. At its heart was Mahatma Gandhi, who preached nonviolence, truth, and civil disobedience. Through symbolic acts like the Salt March, boycotts of British goods, and calls for self-rule, Gandhi inspired millions. His philosophy of satyagraha, truth force, emphasized moral courage over armed rebellion. He was joined by leaders like Nehru, Patel, and Bose, each contributing to a movement that united diverse regions, religions, and social classes under one goal: independence. After the Second World War, Britain's power declined, and on the 15th of August, 1947, India became a free nation. But independence came with pain. The partition of India and Pakistan led to one of the largest human migrations in history, and widespread violence between communities.
Modern India, tradition within transformation.
After gaining independence, India adopted a democratic system. It became one of the largest and most diverse democracies in the world. While challenges such as poverty, inequality, caste discrimination, and gender issues remain, India has also made major strides in education, technology, and global influence. In the 21st century, India emerged as a leader in software, engineering, and space exploration. Culturally, Bollywood cinema, classical music, cuisine, and literature reached global audiences. Today, India lives in contrasts: ancient rituals and modern science, sacred rivers and digital networks, temples thousands of years old beside tech parks. This coexistence of old and new is not a contradiction. It is the soul of India.
Conclusion.
India is not just a nation. It is a civilization that has absorbed and transformed every wave of history that touched its shores. From the planned streets of Harappa to the sacred chants of the Vedas, from the teachings of the Buddha to the battles of Ashoka, from Mughal palaces to British courtrooms, from the silent strength of Gandhi to the vibrant energy of today, India is a continuous story. And this story is not only India's. It is a mirror of humanity, its complexity, its endurance, its search for meaning. If you found this journey meaningful, do not forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. We will meet again in the next episode.